Hello, my name is Loubna Masrour and I come from Italy. At the invitation of my dear friend Mr. Asif Malik, I make this video to tell you about the situation that we are living here in Italy concerning coronavirus. Unfortunately, we are not living a good time because the number of infected every day rises more and more. Today, on March 22nd, we have reached the number of 59,000 infected, and among them 5,476 died. So it's not a good time. I try to go back just to explain the background concerning coronavirus here in Italy. The first two cases identified were a couple of Chinese tourists in Rome. They were isolated and medicated, and to contain the phenomena, the government decided immediately to suspend all flights to and from China. But it was not enough because on February 21st, an outbreak has been detected in the north of Italy. And just 1 week after, the number of infected rose to 403, just in 1 week. There we have realized that the emergency is so serious and we have to face it. The governors of Lombardy and Veneto decided to suspend schools, universities, and all social activities. And concerning the government, our Prime Minister decided immediately to impose the quarantine to the cities mainly involved. Although also these measures were not enough to contain the phenomena. And as a response to this emergency involving above all the north of Italy, on the night of March 7th, our Prime Minister, Mr. Giuseppe Conte, issued a new decree affecting all Lombardy and 14 other provinces in the center of Italy, where all movements to and from restricted territories have been banned. Something so strange happened in this day because in the evening of the same day, a draft of the decree had been leaked on the web and causing a general escape of many workers and students from southern Italy to their native regions in order to avoid being stuck in the areas that would be placed under quarantine in the following hours. It was an episode so dangerous and so bad. And to prevent this exodus to southern Italy from causing further rapid transmission of the pandemic in these regions, on March 11th, our President of Council, our Prime Minister, issued a new decree called #Io resto a casa. Translated, it means I stay at home, extending to the whole country the isolation and suspends also all common retail activities. So people can leave their homes only for situation of proven emergency, such as going to the supermarket or to the pharmacy or to the hospitals and so on. So only for situations of proven emergency. This is the background. Regarding life in quarantine, here it feels like you really live in a movie, especially when from the window of your house you hear the civil protection constantly turning and telling people not to go out. So yeah, it's so strange and I feel like I'm living a movie. I'm inside a movie. It's so strange for me. The first few days were really hard, but because you don't know what to do. But then you get used to it, so you try to spend your time studying, reading books or watching movies and so on. And also we must also feel fortunate because we have many media to keep in touch with our friends and our family. So it's not so hard as you imagine. I want to give you with this video, I want to give you an advice. The advice is stay at home and don't go out if not for the essential, and above all take care about the elderly because in this situation they are extremely fragile. So stay at home, please. Staying at home is already an experiment that has led to positive results in China and above all in the cities of Italy where it was detected the first outbreak. So it's so important because you prevent yourself and also your family. And don't wait for the worst. React now, just staying at home. The problem is much bigger and much serious than it looks, and Italy is the proof. Also because we live a big emergency, we are in a big emergency nowadays. The Italian health system, for example, is one of the best in the world. And despite this, the hospitals are experiencing a dramatic situation here in the north of Italy because health staff is not enough to respond to the emergency, and we find ourselves in, as we are experiencing a crazy hospital overcrowding. So the problem is so serious. And also let's not forget that the doctors should also take care of the other patients and not only take care of infected. And let me just say something, it's not true the news that circulates on the web saying that where it's stated that doctors here in Italy choose who to treat. It's not true. Here the doctors treat everybody. So I take this situation to tell you also, please to inform you from certain sources and be so much careful about fake news, such as the one that is spreading on the web these days that sees our Prime Minister say that the Italian situation is at extremes and that there are no more other ways. It's not true. It's a fake news. It's true. Italian situation is at extremes, but our government, the country, is doing the impossible to face this emergency. We are sacrificing also the economy in order to prevent this situation. So, having said that, please stay at home. Authorities are just telling us to stay at home, nothing more. Just stay at home. Stay at home with your families, and that's it. So, please also wash your hands. Don't forget to wash your hands because it's so important, and it's also important to keep a distance of at least 1 meter with people. So try to avoid the close contact, and please try to respect these measures. Above all, staying at home. Doing so, we protect ourselves from contagion, but above all, we protect all people, the people who are close to us, so we protect our family. So, also because we are now in a pandemic and no longer in an epidemic, so it involves all of us, not only Italy, not only in Italy. It's a pandemic. So, let's all collaborate together so that this event becomes just a mere memory, because it's so bad. I want that this episode become just a mere memory. And also don't forget that everyone is responsible for what happens. Everyone. So be careful so much, and take care of yourselves and take care above all of your family. Saying that, thank you so much for your attention, and goodbye.